Hello, my lovelies. It's your girl, Rhea, and welcome back to my second channel. On my petty bench, I read and react to Reddit stories like Am I the Asshole, Nightmare Neighbors, Just No Stories, and we maybe get a little bit petty. For today's story, we have a story with an update, and this one looks a little interesting. This story comes from OK Jeweler 4132, and it asks, am I the asshole for telling my brother's girlfriend she can't expect me to treat her kids like I treat mine, and that she is not entitled to anything from us? Again, this story does have an update. I, 32 female, have two sons with my husband, a 10 months and a 3-year-old. I obviously love my kids, but I don't really like other kids, especially kids I don't know well. I'm just not that maternal type that will want to interact with other kids or find them cute or whatever, which is fair. My brother has been dating his girlfriend, Natalie, 31 female, and she has 2 kids as well, 7 male and 5 female. When we first met Natalie, she seemed excited that I have kids and started planning how our kids will bond and play together. This did not happen, and the main reason is the age difference. Again, my kids are 3 years old and 10 months. I don't know how she imagined that her 7 years old would bond so well with a baby or someone 4 years younger than him. Her 5-year-old daughter is a different situation. She's very rowdy, so my oldest avoids her at all costs when we meet during family functions or whatever. Despite our kids clearly not blending well, I would say we're nice towards Natalie and her kids. Last Christmas, for example, the first Christmas since they got together, we gave gifts to her kids when we met at my parents' place for dinner, and I thought that was enough. However, Natalie decided to confront me on things I apparently did wrong and hurt her feelings. She mentioned, 1, I do not show a special interest in her kids that will potentially become my niece and nephew in the future. 2, I refuse to have her kids over at my place for playdates without her being present. To be clear, I am okay with hosting her, my brother, and her kids for dinner or something. 3, I refuse to make my son like her daughter. And 4, I am cold towards her kids. I explained to her that I can't and will not force my kid to play or be friends with anyone. I also said that I am not comfortable having her kids in my house without her present. I do not know her kids that well. I have no idea how they will behave outside of the few family settings that we have all attended, and I don't want to be responsible for 2 stranger kids at my house. On the coldness side, I explained to her that I am not cold on purpose, but this is how I am as a person. I am not a kids fan. I am not overly maternal, and I simply don't feel like being overly excited over kids. She said that this is not true because she saw that I am everything I claimed not to be with my kids. Well, yes, because they are my own children. She also claims that everyone has been excluding her children. When I asked her how, she gave the same examples from above and claimed that my parents are more affectionate towards my kids. Yes, again, because they are their grandkids. In the end, we were not getting anywhere, so I told her, look, Natalie, you started dating my brother 1 year ago. My parents and I had a couple of meetings with you and your kids, and everyone was nice to all of you. I don't know what your problem is, but you need to speak to my brother. No one is excluding your kids, but you can't expect us to treat your kids the same way as mine. This is never going to happen. My kids are my kids. They don't owe anything to yours, and you are not entitled to anything from us. Please solve this issue with my brother. My brother apologized for her and mentioned to me she sounded like a madwoman, focused on the absurd differences she sees when it comes to our kids. He agrees our parents are not doing anything wrong and that I am not doing anything wrong. He knows me and he is aware I am not doing anything on purpose. He said that Natalie has been crying after our discussion, and while he agrees with me, he asked me if I could try being a little bit more empathetic towards her feelings. I told him that I am polite to her, but she seems manipulative, and if she doesn't want to hear the truth, she should not start this kind of discussion with me. My brother is lost. He does not know how to manage this madness, and I am honestly confused if I did anything wrong when speaking to her. In all honesty, I don't think OP did anything wrong. Look, I can only speak from personal experience. I am mostly child-free. Maybe I'll change my mind. I'm not going to say anything in an absolute, but I am child-free. I don't like being with children. They are fragile. They are all over the place. I don't know what I can and cannot say. There's a lot of landmines when it comes to being around other people's children. That is to say that my best friend's kid is my nephew. I love him, and he is my little green bean. But there's nuance and exceptions. She don't know this woman from Adam. OP doesn't know if her kids, like, for example, children ask a million questions. They should, because you want them to learn about the world, and part of that means being curious, inquisitive, so on. Child asks you, why does it rain? that is a landmine and you don't realize it because maybe the parent is religious and it's just like, oh, because God wants it to rain. Or maybe maybe it's scientific and it's just like, hey, when precipitation and all that, the whole cycle of the water and everything like that, you don't know what you're supposed to answer this kid. And also, let's say a kid is injured near you. What are you supposed to do? Be like, do I let them cry it out to self-soothe? Children are a landmine. They're not fun to be with. I mean, yes, there are people that are more maternal and instinctively know what they're supposed to do, but it's just like, it is okay to not want to be around other people's kids. And sometimes kids are just annoying. They're little buggers. And it's just like, okay, can you just shush, go away. Go away. They are overstimulating. It is a lot. And it is okay to not like being around children. It is also okay to only like your own kids. That's the case with my mom. She don't like other people's kids. Except my brother and I, we walked on water. But we were her kids. She's not going to treat other children the same way that she treats her flesh and blood that she adores more than anything. Like, my mom is very much my kids first, even though I'm in my big old age of my 30s and so is my brother. Don't matter. We are her babies. But it's very much children are nuanced, and how you engage with children is a landmine. I do not blame OP for not wanting to subject herself to that. She don't know these kids. She don't know if you sneeze and all of a sudden they have, I don't know, some like friggin' the plague 2.9. And no, it is okay to not want to be around other people's kids. It is not a moral failing. It is not, as long as you don't go out of your way to harm children, you've done nothing wrong. That's pretty much my stance on it. But again, I am a most likely forever child-free person. I adore my nephew. Even though he's not blood my nephew, he is my nephew. He is, if anything happens to my BFF, that kid is mine. I'm not going to let anybody poison and corrupt that little boy. No, he's mine. I love him. But again, nuance. I don't want to be around anybody else's kids. The Roadkill Rapunzel says, not the asshole. She was hoping to leave them with you for date nights and weekends anyway. You just slaughtered that dream and she's not happy. Which is an interesting take that I'm surprised wasn't my first thought. But then again, I'm child free. I don't have this situation pop up. But yeah, it is very possible she was fishing for childcare. Free childcare, because children are expensive. And paying a babysitter, that stacks up. Because babysitters deserve to be paid. And no, babysitters are not taking, I'll watch your kid for less than minimum wage for several hours. Nah, fight me. I'll pay the babysitter. But she probably was fishing for childcare, because once she has a very fun and happy auntie, then that means, hey, I can just abandon my kid with you for several hours, knowing that I don't have to pay for it, knowing that they'll be fed, and you'll use your own resources to care for my children. And I'm going to go have fun. To this, OP responds, yeah, no, that's never going to happen. To which Scorp128 replies, it is not your responsibility to manage and placate the feelings of a grown-ass woman whose expectations do not match reality. It sucks that brother has to deal with the fallout, but that is his choice. He needs to figure out how to shut down her manipulative tactics if he wants to have a relationship with her. Reason I'm following this chain is because of Barkerton's response to all of this, saying she isn't just trying to manipulate OP. She's trying to manipulate OP's brother too. She's acting like it's out of the norm for grandparents to treat grandkids better than their son's girlfriend of 1 year's kids. It's not. She's acting like it's unfair, so her boyfriend will speed run the relationship and quickly get married so her kids become grandkids. OP's brother sees the craziness, but not the manipulation. She is going to keep harping on it being unfair, so he feels bad for her and legitimizes the relationship and her kids' role in the family. Right now, he sees both sides. That girlfriend's feelings are hurt, and his sister's acknowledgement of the actual reality of the situation is legitimate. So how can he win both sides? Marry the girlfriend, and then she can point out how unfair OP is being and have this conversation all over again? He is going to either dump her or start to wave and double down on his commitment to her in order to protect her from feeling like she doesn't belong. 100%, I bet she is pushing for marriage soon if she isn't already. The red flags are waving. Toro, run! Okay, the bull is coming, run! Humblesuit 2402 says, not the asshole. These boundaries are totally fair. Natalie seems to have unrealistic expectations, especially this early into the relationship. It's not cruel to protect your space or prioritize your own kids. Empathy does not mean sacrificing honesty or comfort. She may be hurting, but that doesn't make her entitled to your energy or parenting style. To which OP responds, thank you. The thing is, I don't get it. Why would you be hurt in her situation? My parents and I met her kids a bunch of times, but it's clear at this point we are some strangers to them just like they are strangers to us. I Want to Be an Anemone points out, sounds like this woman is dating your brother specifically to have an instant family, as opposed to actually loving him to build a life with him. That's not stable. All your brother can commit to in a relationship is himself. He can't promise anything on behalf of other people, blood related or not. Relationships take time and effort to build. Reminds me of the thread on Best of Reddit updates, where brother's wife insists on calling father-in-law dad, despite him and the rest of brother's family saying that they weren't comfortable with a woman acting like she's been adopted into the family as a sister. It escalated for months before the brother finally called off their wedding because his ex was pulling mind games trying to get father-in-law's ex-wife invited to family events because ex-mother-in-law fed into the whole "your instant family now" delusion, not the asshole. On to the update. I've received a lot of feedback on my original post, and for that I am very grateful. I tried replying to as many of you as I can, but it's overwhelming and my DM is full. But I have read your comments and I really appreciate you spending some of your time to talk to me. I will clarify some points that keep being mentioned, and then I will go on to the update. Many of you pointed out that Natalie is looking for an instant family. I was not used to this term, but yeah, after reading your comments and looking for more information, I agree. Many of you asked about her family and her kids' father/grandparents. I don't know much about them. My brother told us something along the lines, she has a complicated relationship with her family, and we did not insist for more details. We consider this to be her privacy and assume that we will get more info when she is ready. There's a lot of confusion on why the children don't like each other. Natalie's 7-year-old has no interest in the kids, not even for his sister who is 5. My baby is 10 months old, so except for his food, laughing, and being entertained, he has no interest at the moment. My 3-year-old son doesn't like Natalie's daughter because, as mentioned, she is rowdy and too much for him. She is not used to play with little kids, so she broke one of his favorite toys and pushed him down on 2 different occasions, making him land on his butt. This led to my son clinging to me, my husband, or my parents each time he is around her, which that does change things a little bit. It's not so much that, girls have cooties. No, this little girl has inflicted violence on this kid. He has every right to not want to be around this little girl. Maybe she'll grow out of it in the future. That is not a today solution. The most overwhelming part of this post for me was receiving a lot of messages from people who told me how they were forced to play with kids they didn't like and how this affected them. I am really sorry for all of your experiences, but I guarantee you, I will not do the same to my kids. I would rather have people calling me names than force my kids to do something they are not comfortable with, only to feed my ego and make myself seem as a nice person. In case I was not clear, I am a mother first, and my main priority is to be an ally to my kids, not be a saint or seen as the most amazing woman alive. Many of you have accused me of not making time to bond with Natalie and her kids, even after her dating my brother for a year. To be clear, up until this point, I only met her kids 4 times. I think people miss some details in regards to timing. Natalie started dating my brother last year around February. Last year I was pregnant. I gave birth, and after that I had to raise a newborn baby and a toddler. So yeah, sorry to disappoint some of you for not abandoning my kids at home to go meet my brother's latest girlfriend. I'm a very nasty person for raising my kids. Some of you seem to be very special people who are able to form bonds with new people in a matter of hours upon meeting them. I am not like this. For me, it takes time to grow a relationship, get used to someone, and be able to be comfortable. So in my books, the people who I've seen only 4 times in my entire life are still strangers. Lastly, I was accused of being a cruel person for not being willing to be Natalie's village. I am sorry if she is in the position of needing a village instead of already having people willing to help her. But I have no obligation to be anyone's village. At this point in time, I am my family's village, meaning my husband, my kids, and my pets. I have enough excitement daily with my gremlins. My oldest, although a calm and cute kid, is a pain in the ass that needs to be supervised all the time. If I don't supervise him all the time, he will sneak and eat the cat's food and insert his fingers into wire sockets. By the way, a genuine question for all the parents who have 3-year-old kids. Are all the kids so kamikaze, or only mine is this level of menace? I don't know, but there's a reason why we have the saying of terrible twos. And I've heard that it carries on all the way to 4. So, good luck. So yeah, I don't need 2 additional stranger kids in my home unsupervised by their parents. Sue me. Now on to the update. After reading all your replies, I understood my brother is not being fair. He asked me to be understanding of Natalie's situation, but is he understanding of mine? I don't think so. So I sent him the following message. Hey, brother. I had some time to think about the entire situation, and I want to share my thoughts with you. First of all, I did something that might make you mad, and you might not agree with, but please keep an open mind and read what I am about to send you. I made a post on Reddit and asked about my situation with Natalie, and the replies were mostly pointing in the same direction. Maybe you'll want to see some unbiased feedback from hundreds of people who don't know us and are able to have a clear perspective. Now I feel like you are not fair towards me. I understand you have a relationship with Natalie, and she is your partner, but it seems very selfish of you to put the burden on me. I understand Natalie may have some issues with her family. She may desperately need to feel accepted and to have a big family for her and her children, but her struggles were not caused by me. You asked me to be understanding towards her, but were you understanding towards me? Did you defend your nephew when he was pushed twice by Natalie's daughter? Did you even explain to Natalie she is expecting too much from your sister, who is dealing with a baby and a toddler? Did you defend your parents when Natalie commented about them? I'm sorry to get to this point, but I will be honest. My main priority will always be my family, not Natalie, not her kids. I'm not a therapist, I'm not an emotional support animal, and I am not her punching bag for times when things don't go her way. I love you. I am happy you are happy, but I need some space from the toxicity she brings. You have known me since I was a baby. You know how I am, so please set the record straight with her and explain that I will never be what she wants when she wants. After an hour, he replied, "Oh shit, give me some time to read everything and gather my thoughts. I will come over at your place. Just give me some days, please. I love you." Now the bag is in his court. I think she meant ball? Okay. You are right. Natalie is his girlfriend, so his problem. Let's see how things turn out after he comes to talk, but I'm keeping my expectations low. I'm going to butcher this username, so forgive me. Ekekademic says, as much as your brother has asked for time to gather his thoughts, that's a really promising response. It's short, but the "oh shit" seems like he realized this is a bigger issue than he perhaps thought it was. And the "love you" means he hasn't taken it personally. I hope you're able to have a productive conversation when your brother's had a chance to sort his own views on the topic and really take in what you've said, not the asshole still. Away Elephant 4323 says, you sound like a great mama. Protecting your kiddos first will always be your priority, not other people's personal problems and children. I love how parents now don't force their kids to interact with kids they feel uncomfortable being around. I get building relationships, but at the same time, you have boundaries, and if she can't discipline her own children, I don't blame you for not wanting your kids around them. To which OP responds, thank you. I am all for my kids being inclusive, not discriminate and being nice to others. But when they start on the wrong foot, I think it takes time to make them warm up to each other, and it should be a shared effort. Not expect only me to force my son to like her daughter. To which Glassgirl1021 says, there's a big difference between teaching your kids to be inclusive of kids that are different from them and teaching them they need to put up with kids who are mean, rude, or disruptive. You are doing the right thing, which I agree. Again, I'm not a parent. I'm mostly in the child-free camp. Children are not as dumb as people want to think they are. I genuinely believe this. I'm not saying that they're smart, because they do try to kamikaze themselves. But they do understand that boundaries exist. If a child says no, respect their boundaries. Within reason, obviously. Like if they say no to getting like their shots or what have you. Unfortunately, you can't really respect that boundary. But if a kid says, I don't want to play with that kid because they hurt me, point blank period, done. Kids should be able to say no. If they don't want to interact with the other kid, especially if the other kid was mean to them, don't force it. If the kid doesn't want to hug a stranger, don't force it. They do have rights to their body autonomy. Maybe that makes me like super woke. I know I am. That's just me. Otherwise, Degree 729 says, not the asshole. I'm like OP. It takes me time to get used to people and to be comfortable around new people. It creeps me out when people that I met once or twice act like we've known each other for our entire lives. It's creepy and fake. The last one bothers me more. It's fake and I'm supposed to lie and act like them because that relationship they are acting out doesn't exist. It didn't have time to form, and them forcing it will make me step back and close up, so it will take even more time. Instant family is the right term, but people that want an instant family can easily replace that family instantly because there's no true bond behind it. I don't have a newborn and a toddler, and I still wouldn't entertain her. To which OP responds, I totally get you. I find it so weird when I meet new people who are too friendly right from the start. I also consider them fake because you can't like me that much when you know nothing about me. To which Bino0526 says, I feel ya. I'm an introvert and it takes me a while to decide if I'm going to spend any time or energy on you. One time someone said to me, you sure love kids? And I said, no. I love those kids, pointing to my nibblings. I don't like kids just because they're kids. You're so right. Your priority is your family, not Natalie and her kids. Which is very true. So, obviously, I'm here on YouTube. I present myself as a very bubbly persona. In my real day-to-day, it takes a while for me to warm up to people. In fact, the few friends that I do have left, they try to make friends for me because they worry my social group is teeny tiny. And I'm sorry. And if people come on too strong, then it's just like, no, going back to my hidey hole. Where's my shell? No. So, while I'm very nice, I'm very giving. Like, if I see somebody that needs help, I will go out of my way, even if I've never met you, and I will help you. Like, there's an entire string of tweets when I still had Twitter, and on Blue Sky it's just like, oh, you want to do this, oh, you are going through hard times and you're selling art. Yeah, let me buy art to help you. Or, hey, I've got these books on my Kindle. Do you want to borrow them? I don't mind sharing even if you're a stranger, right? But even then, it's just like, I have the safety of you are over there on the other side of the interwebs. Don't force yourself onto me. In real life, it's creepy, and I don't like it. Stay over there. Far over there. Go away. Shoo. Alright, to wrap this one up, Aggressive Poet 7319 says, that is a very well-written text to your brother. First, he didn't shut you out, so that's awesome of him. His willingness to read and listen to you is exactly what he should do. Second, Natalie is just a girlfriend at this time. Even if they get married, she expects way too much from people who barely know her. Her inability to grasp the age difference between both of your children is astonishing to me. Third, you are an awesome mom who puts her kids first while knowing your 3-year-olds are mini monsters. My son used to climb the refrigerator door shelves to try and steal treats from the top. Lol. Boys are wonderful, but whew, do they have no fear and seem to live to give moms the gray hair. Another laugh out loud. So let me know in the comments how you feel about this story and what you think OP should do or how they should brace themselves for the upcoming discussion. We're going to slot this in because I think it's important for the few parents that may listen in. So Mr. Petomane, I had to slow that down because it sounded wrong when I said it fast. By the way, a genuine question for all the parents who have 3-year-old kids. Are all the kids kamikaze or only mine is this level of menace? To which they respond, I almost burned down my parents' house and dad needed to call an electrician for repairs. I messed with the toy train set speed control by plugging into the wall and then taking the wires that went to the tracks and sticking them in the electric socket. Huge black mark on the wall that looks like lightning. Half the house lost power. Dad had to repaint and deal with electric damage. I'd say I was maybe 7-9 years old. I'm a boy and my sister was more saintly than I was. So, parents listening in, I'm sorry. I'm not selling me on having kids. I'm just saying. Whew. But yeah, OP response to this, I'm doomed. My son's favorite toys are trains as well. I'm starting to think that dad who taped his son on the wall was not wrong after all. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to agree with that. Okay, so apparently this story has a lot of really funny anecdotes. Like, here's another one from Cheerful Disdain. Are all kids kamikaze destruction machines? Not all, but most. And it's nothing you can control, largely. They're wild animals. I have 6 younger siblings. The number of unbelievable things 3-year-olds do to self-destruct are hard to believe. Jinxie Maggie says, Yep, don't have kids, but was a kid. That kid. My username is referring to my childhood nickname, Jinx. If there was a way to hurt myself, cause chaos, get lost, or have my parents think I was dead, I was on it. One trip was the trifecta. I just turned 5, lost, injured, and my dad believed I was dead for 45 minutes while running along a beach in a foreign country. He didn't know how he was going to tell my mom. Maggie isn't my last name. Starting at 3, if we were someplace and I did something wild, he would say, "Oh, I better get that Maggie kid. Her parents have a lot of kids." I was an only kid, just hell-bent on experiencing the world. At home, I was so calm. I just got into the world and let loose. By 6, I grew trying to accidentally kill myself. Yeah, not sold on being a parent, just saying. Well, that's it for today, my lovelies. It's always a delight to read these Reddit stories for you. I hope to read your opinions down in the comments below. With that in mind, please give me a like, a follow, and a ding on that notification bell to let you know when the next reading drops. Stay safe, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye!
I've been giving you the worst of me. Now you wanna stay the night. Pity how you work hard for me, while forgetting how to talk. Nah, I don't like no humble beats. Just go and suss it up. Now it's time to marinate. And right after we're done, I like it when you're looking like that. Don't like it when you shit, chat shit. I like it when you're looking like that.